Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to part two of the beginner's guide to Power BI. Part one was exciting, laid down the basics for part two. We went through what is Power BI, data analysis at a theoretical level. We were able to examine the geography of the software, Power BI. Went in through into the ribbons, looked at some of those functions just on a theoretical level. We looked at the default layers of the software. In part two, we want to get our hands dirty. So get into some practical aspects of this powerful system using Power BI. It's a huge, powerful, extremely powerful platform. And of course, we'll not be able to go exhaust all the functionalities in one video. We'll be coming up with series of videos as we go. But in order to at least give a foundation to the beginner's guide to Power BI, we get into part two. What are we going to do? What are the objectives for this for this lesson? We want to connect Power BI to a data source. All right. And within the Power BI ecosystem, look at what we call tables and get into something not so deep, but things like primary key to see how two tables are connected together. Then we get into data visualization and analysis, getting into some data analysis using visualization. Okay. And that's what we're going to do in a nutshell. Getting a little bit into some data formatting as well. Not heavy, but something that will definitely be of immense value to you. I hope you're ready. Let's get right into it. Okay, let me reduce my the camera, the size of the camera. I'm gonna close this screen. Now, sorry, before I bring the data up, this is what I would like us to come up with. This that you are seeing here. You know, I would like, you know, to end this what I mean, whatever we'll be doing, all right, will look like this. I will change it a little bit, but it will look like this. So I want us to start from the scratch, if that is okay. All right. So now this is the data set that we will be bringing into Power BI. This is an Excel worksheet. By the way, the data is attached to the description of this video. Um, Please feel free to download it and also leave a comment and share it with your friends. Share the video with your friends. It's free. So you see it within the comment section of this video, the data file for this. So this Excel file. So this is amazing math data set. So in this Excel workbook, you have three tables, or what you call conventionally three worksheets. One is called the list of orders here. The second one is the order breakdown sheet. And the third one is sales target. We will not be doing much with this, okay, at the moment. We won't. But what we will probably get into will be the order list of orders and then the order breakdown or worksheet. Now, when we import this into Power BI, it turns into tables. You see all those details shortly. But please, one of the things I encourage my students to always do is that when they get into it, when they get access to a new data set, try to familiarize yourself with the data set. So the table, what are the elements there? In this case, what are the columns? Can you identify what we call a primary key on foreign key? So what is that? A primary key is a unique identifier. Okay, what an example of that is your driver's license number. Your driver's license, the number. Nobody shares it with you. All right, your passport number. Even if you have a twin, all right, you cannot have the same passport number. It's a unique identity. Your bank account number is a unique identity. Uh, what else? Your student ID, if you're in a college, is a unique identity. Your email is unique to you. So those things they stand out, as a unique identifier, for a particular transaction. So a customer, instead of calling the name Christopher Jones, for example, may have a customer ID. And why would that be necessary? Because there could be more than one Christopher Jones, right? Of course, there could be patronizing and doing business with the organization, even at the same time. So, how do we know which is which? By a unique identifier, maybe a specific customer ID, or even if it's an employee, we could have more than Sarah Jones in an organization, for example. So, the unique identifier there will be the employee number for Sarah Jones. Okay, so here we have in the list of orders um, sheet in Excel. Okay, and then you have order ID, order date, customer name, city, country, region, segment, ship date, ship mode. This is like an order table, and then the state. The state. All right. Now, in the order breakdown table, you have the order ID. So if you have the order ID, you have the product name, you have the discount, the sales, the profit, the quantity that was purchased, the category, the subcategory. Now, if I flip back to the list of orders, you will agree with me that this is a unique identifier. Order ID is a primary key here, and in here, in the order breakdown, it's like a secondary key because it's here as it's connecting this table, list of orders table, and the order breakdown table together. So it's a primary key in one table, and it features in the other one as a secondary key. Okay, so you have take note of that. It is because of this order ID that the list of orders are able to connect to each other. We'll get into the details later on. So if we click on this column here, you find that you have over 4,100 records. Okay, in the list of orders table, the breakdown is over 8,000 records in the order breakdown table. So it gives us more information as to the list of orders here. Because what you have here in the list of orders is just telling us more about the logistics, okay, where the orders came from. Here you have a breakdown that gets into the monetary stuff here. So the discount, the sales, the profit, the quantity that was so. So you have more information on the transactions that took place in the order breakdown, which absolutely makes a lot of sense. Now, this is the next thing that. So after going through this, we need to find a way of ingesting this worksheet here, right? Ingesting this worksheet into Power BI, okay, into Power BI. So if minimize this, I have open here a blank Power BI, okay. And how do you do this? First thing, okay, we've gone through all the tabs in part one. Okay, if you remember, if this is your first time on this watching this video or on our YouTube channel, please you can go over and watch the part one of this video. So we've gone through all the you're here in the main canvas. So this is the report view. This is a table view. This is the model view. All right, and then you have the DAX query view here, which is one of the things they just added into it. Very beautiful and powerful stuff. And on my right here, you have what will happen here once we have brought the data into Power BI. Okay, so data visualizations, and you have a whole pane that is for filters as well. So you'll be able to drill down. Okay, so now I want to ingest the data. There are a couple of ways for me to ingest data. That is, bring a data set or connect Power BI to a data set. In this case, we are connecting it to Excel or CSV file. You could come here in the Home tab and you will see data, and then you connect directly to Excel workbook. Or right here in this plain canvas here, you have import data from Excel. So let me close this panes, close this, and I want to leave this one on. So if I click on import from Excel, so you could either come here or use the other one. Let me go to where the data set that I'm using is from. Okay. Yep. Amazing Bird EU open. Okay. It's in use, so I have to close it first. So I've closed it. Amazing Bird EU, Amazing Mat EU, sorry. So it's connecting to the data set. Right. It's processing all of a sudden. Here we go. Here we go. I hope you remember the three tables. All right. You remember the three tables: list of orders table, order breakdown table, and sales target. So you find that as a separate worksheet in Excel. But now in Power BI, it's seen as three separate tables. Okay, so you have this order table, list of order tables. So we are selecting. Let's select the three of them. Okay, or shall I say, let me just stick to the first two. All right, let's stick to the first two for the case for the sake of this video. Okay, so you have this window called the navigator that shows up exactly what you have in the Excel sheet is here right now. So we have list of orders and order breakdown tables here. The next thing that we do is that we click on transform data. Why don't we load directly? I'll tell you why shortly. Okay, why, we may need to look at it. So if we click on transform data, once we click on transform data, the Power Query editor shows up. The Power Query editor shows up. And you will notice on my left pane, we have the two tables that we selected from Excel. I hope you understand the journey. Okay, don't lose sight of it. Now, so what we do usually in the Power Query editor is to make sure that each of the variables that we are about to use, the data is in the correct shape. Otherwise, we will not get the appropriate visualization. Take this as a processing center. Okay, so you went to the market to get some items for smoothie. For example, you want to come up with pineapple smoothie. And then you bought a raw, actual pineapple. All right, you're not gonna blend it or like that. You probably will have to cut off the outside, dress it, and treat it well, all right, before you begin to mix all the other things together. So you need to make sure that everything is in the right condition, all right, in the right state, all right, before you'll be able to do anything meaningful with the data in Power BI. So that is what this is about. So we click on list of orders first, and then we have the order ID. All right. Now, if I right click on the order ID, you have various interesting things, some of which we're still coming to do another video so that we can actually see how powerful these functions are. But if I click on this, so you have these are the forms in which the data in each column can take. So you, as the analyst, you now determine, all right, how the data, what type of data you have in each column. Now, Power BI will do something, a guesswork for you, and say, all right, fine. Intuitively, it comes up with an arrangement for it, and say, well, it looks like this data in this column is this type of data. So it is your responsibility to make sure that it is correct. Otherwise, you can say no, it is not, and then adjust it. Okay, so Power BI in the Power Query says this is A, B, C. So it's telling us that essentially it's a text. Here you go, ABC. Here, did you see that? It's a text, and that's fine. So it's telling us this is order date now, and that's correct. Date, not timer, because date and time, because there is no clock sign here, so it's date, and that's okay. That's fine. Customer name is ABC's text. That's okay. Now stock it's a city. You can have it as a text. Okay, you can have it as a text. You can also so for this you have this as a text. You can it can also be a special data where you can it can transform to become a global a special data where you'll be able to uh, come up with or shall I say make it to be a geographical data so that you want it to if you want to project it as a map you can adjust that. So it is currently as a text. We leave it like that at the moment but you have all this uh, um, interesting stuff here. So you check on them. This is looking quite okay. You have the segment, ship date, um, ship mode, state, and that's quite okay. That's good. That's quite okay. Um, Now, if you click on the orders breakdown, now check it again. So this is a mixture of string data, text. That's fine. Product name, text, discount, yeah, um, sales. So here we have um, sales here, um, profit, quantity, okay, and so everything here. This is the number, numerical data, uh, category, subcategory. So make sure that what you have here actually matches the data type. The data type, and we're quite okay. So once you've certified that that's okay, yeah, we could decide to leave it. So for some of this, you have the data type. Again, if you click, depending on how you click, if you click here, you can also, what you're doing by clicking on this data type icon, you could also actually achieve by clicking on the type here. So for some, it can be decimal, fixed number, whole number, it could be percentage, depending on the shape and the form of your data. Okay, so at the moment, everything looks good. We can always come back and tweak in one way or the other. So right now, we go to Home tab and then we say Apply, Close, and Apply. That is, we are okay, we accept everything, and then Power BI is asking for your permission to apply changes. So click on that. There are two tables that are loading. We give it some time. So here we go. So if you pay attention to what is happening on your right hand side, you have list of orders here. Did you see that table? You have the order breakdown. Now, I usually do this. Let me bring you back to where this whole started from, this whole journey started from, because I don't want you to lose sight of what is going on here. Okay, so if I open up the Excel, this is the Excel workbook. It's a list of orders, you see, order ID, order state, customer name. So if I decide to even split my screen into two and I bring Power BI here, all right, you see, side by side. So this is the list of orders table. And here we go, order ID, date, customer name, you see that, city, country, segment, and that is what you have here. So for this table here, or order breakdown, so if I click on this sheet, you have the order ID here, you have the product name, discount, and all and on. So everything is here. So that's the journey. Okay, so let me close this and let me expand this. Watch this. So if I go to the table view, okay, this is what we have under the hood. All those data that we have in this is for the list of orders table here. This is one powerful thing in Excel. Sorry, in Power BI, which you don't get in Excel. What is that? You'll find that you cannot, I'm using my keyboard now. You cannot change or alter this text. You can't. Everything is locked. So with a business intelligence tool like Power BI, data integrity is guaranteed. Or let me show you what I really mean also by that. So this is Excel, the same stuff. But if I come here and I see it says second class and I begin to type, you see, I've altered the entire text. I've altered, so I have to do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. All right, all right, Control Z, Control Z. You know, and then you have a totally different stuff here. No, don't save. Okay, but with Power BI, everything here is sealed. It's protected. You cannot tamper with the data here. Okay, that's one of the unique features of a business intelligence tool like Power BI. How it's a next level from Excel. All right, so you have it, and here you could actually do more under the hood. Remember, we're from the report view. This is a table view, and in the table view, for example, we could also come here and adjust and do some ascending sorting here. What you're familiar with in Excel. You could do some sorting. You could do the same thing for the order ID. All right, and you could decide to change the text. So for column tools, you could decide to change the text. All right, change the alter the data type if it's not really for it. So we have the data type. We also have the data category. So if I come here now, the data category for order ID, okay, we could categorize this. So for example, city, London, data category is a city. And guess what happens? Immediately you change it, you have this globe sign to tell us that it's a spatial data, it's a geographical data. So you could do all that here as well. So there's region, we can leave that. So there's city, state, um, with city and state, we'll call this it's also a special data and call this state or province. So you have that here. Okay. Now we could also come to the region and also check that out as well. So if I click on this breakdown, okay, do we have all the numbers the way we want them? Yes, it's quite okay. Okay. Now, do you want to apply a comma style to it? You may decide to put that in. So uh, automatically you have a comma style in this. So now if you come back here to this tab, what we want to do is I want to provide a brief um, um, dashboard at the beginner's level, not something too sophisticated for at the moment. But let's say this. So I want to. I customized a logo. I did a logo. I came up with a logo, and I want to insert the logo in this report view now. So I come to insert tab. I click on image. I go to my downloads, and here I am. I have this. Nice. So it's just something to match the data. So the data send mat. So I came up with this logo just for this just for this that is good for us to do is that let us save this workbook. The file save as, will browse in this device. I probably just want to put it on my desktop, and then I'll say practice, and I say save. Okay, so in case anything happens, we don't lose our work. All right, so we have this. Now, one of the things we need to do is what I would like to do on a high level, there are some stats that I want us to and I want to use here the cards, the cards visualize. So I have a bunch of visualizations that we're going to use. If I click on card view, for example, and I drag it here, you find out that for this, each time I click, whenever I click on this, so I want to try and make sure that everything is in alignment. Okay, you find out that if I click on this, some fields show up here that are unique to this visualization that I've chosen. So if I click outside of it, watch this, it's gone. So each time I click on it, it's highlighted, and then I'm able to slot in the fields that I want. Okay, so if I click outside of it, it's gone. All right, now if I click on it, then the fields are highlighted. Now I want to visualize the sales. If I click on sales, so it's telling me there are 2 million sales in total, sum of all sales there. Okay, and this is not bad. Okay, so but I can make this look better. To click on uh, the format, your visual. I have the visual tab and I have the general. Okay, so with the visual, I get to play around with the layout. So is it a single row that we want, or want it like a grid? I will prefer a single row. Okay, it's a card. That's what we want. If we want it in a table, okay, it gives us this, but I want it in a card. That's a card. Okay, we could continuous scroll. That's fine. Let me reduce this. Call out values all. Now we'll now come in here and align and center. Sorry, center. Click on center. Everything moves to the center. You see that. What about the label? The label is on. The font size will adjust it if you want to. If you want to increase it, you can increase it. Okay, but honestly, I think it's good enough at the moment. I wouldn't want to distort that. If you want a separate image, you could actually get some images into it, but we'll leave it as it is, like that. If I click on general, we have title is off, some effects. With the effects, you have the background. It's currently white. You can decide to change the color to this one here. Um, okay, so if I click on this, visual effects, um, it's for the headers. It's going with our effects. It's going with our effects. So you have the visual border here. Okay. Um, so we have this here. Now, if I come back here and I see the layout, single row, single column, adjust it. You can feel free to adjust these things. Feel free to adjust these things if you want to. Okay, let me click on this, start afresh, bring the card in, come over here. Let's do this. We do this. And we put the sales in. Want to format it, the layout. Yeah, we won't touch any of this. General, title, we'll find the effects, background, I want blue. Okay. Um, head icons, background. I'll prefer this to be white instead. You know, prefer this to be white. So layout, yes. So for the cards, we have the padding, the color for the background is blue. That's what I want. We have the text, center aligned, and let me come back to this, to the visuals, images, alignment in the center. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, what if I want this and I decide to just replicate this? So, I can decide to copy this. Okay, so how do you do that? You right click, copy visual, and then Control V. Control V, Control V. So we've had three copies. So we have one here and another one here. So you're gonna ask me, are we just replicating the same thing? Well, we just want to work smart. That's why. So if I click on this one, all right, and I come over here, so instead of having sum of sales, I delete that and then I bring in profit. There you go. I click on sum of sales here, I delete it and I bring in quantity instead. I click on the fourth one, I delete the sum of sales and I bring in discount. I bring in discount. I bring in discount. So we have um, this this layout for all the cards. Now there's still a long way to go with this. One the next thing that we want to do is that we can actually come up with some bar charts. Bar charts. In this case, we want to see. So these are examples. Is a cluster bar chart. You have cluster column chart. Okay. Now with the column chart runs from north to south, or goes from south to the north. All right. The bar chart is from the left to the right. Okay. So with the let's have a clustered column chart, for example. Click on it, and immediately you click on it, see what do you want to have on the x-axis, on the y-axis. All right. So in this case, we want to see product by sales. So we can decide to have the product. Where is the product? We can decide to have the product, or shall I say, let's use the category here. The category, the category, and then you have the sales. Yeah, you have category and sales. There you go. Category, I have sales right here. You have a bar. And if you click on it, you come here to format your visual. How do you want your x-axis to be? Okay, decide to change the color, make it black. Okay, make it darker. Um, that's for the values. You can also decide to make you can adjust the title. If you don't want the title, some of it you can just close it, shut it, so that the titles are no longer there. What it does is that it reduces clutter. Okay, so you can just reduce that, shut that off. We have the y-axis. You can, yeah, it's auto, the scale, the values. Yeah, I would say we will leave it, but maybe we should shut off the title as well, so that in that way we have reduced a lot of clutter in there as well. So if you want grid lines, you could have them. Uh, for example, you could have it to be more dark, to be darker, but that may not be necessary for us at the moment. Okay, so you have data labels. Currently, it is off. Can we have it on? See that? Beautiful. Okay, you have the data labels on now. Have the data labels on, and you can um, put them, so you have all of them in series. It's current on horizontal. It could be vertical. Okay, that would be neck bending. Could have it horizontal. Let's leave it like that. At the tip, it could flow over the text, and on. So you have all these things to actually play with. The value fields. Yes, we want the values to be on. One of the things you want to do with visualization is that you want to put yourself in the shoes of your audience and make sure that um, um, you help them to visualize, to get the message at the first glance. All right, so they look at it, they're not trying to figure out what you are trying to present. Okay, so we can make this darker. You could actually make it bolder as well, but maybe bold will be quite, we could leave it like this, quite subtle. So that is that with the visuals. You could do more. So with the general also, you could have effects. Okay, if you want a different background from white, why not choose a different background? Okay, but I'll probably just stay with something in like gray at the moment, and then you could alter the transparency of the gray by adjusting the slider here. If you want shadow, okay, outside or inside, the color, um, maybe we have to theme black. So it sort of like elevates uh, the, uh, the chart in a way. When you come to format, it's a whole, in the general, it's a whole. There's a lot to be done here. So the header column, um, sorry, the header column, you could actually do a lot, with this. So with the colors, we're fine with the colors. They have the icons, and that's okay. That's okay. You could also have tooltips. So tooltips, you're looking at something like this. So if I move my mouse on any of the bars, okay, you could have you have a high level summary of what that bar is saying. So it's furniture, sum of sales, $638,809 dollars. That's what that is all about. Now you could so we have all this for the text, um, with regards to text colors. So for the colors, um, for each of them, so you right click, you notice that for each of them, if I click on this, it's automatically filtering all of this as a whole. Now we'll get to that in a bit, okay? In a bit. So if I double click, everything seems to be fine. Let's also create. So this is by category. Let's also create. Um, let's create another table. Okay. Let's create another visualization. In this case, let's create another uh, column chart. Bring that here. Okay, and in this time around, let's why don't we look at profit by category, exactly, exactly, profit by category, profit by category. So we have something similar here. Now, one of the cool things about this is that if we click on this, all right, the first one that we did, go to home, click on the format painter and apply it here. You find that it just replicates the format. All right. So just in case you make an adjustment here, okay, you are able to replicate that in here as well easily, 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 easily. So we were looking at format for 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 we formatted the profit, uh, the category by profit here. We could also decide, just for the sake of it, we could also decide to uh, play around a little bit more with. Let's create, perhaps this time around. Yeah, let's also create another um, column chart. So the column chart, maybe we'll come over here, bring that in here without squeezing it much. Can it allow us to stay? Yep. Okay. Decent enough. Why don't we have region by sales? So you have the central region. And again, we want to do what we did earlier. So we click on this. We want this region by sales to look like every other thing that we've done. So we click on it, go to Format Painter, and then apply it there, and it looks exactly like it. So there's some form of uniformity across the board. All right. Now, I'm also interested in throwing a line chart into this. Let me throw a line chart into this. So a line chart will tell you the performance of this company, okay, over a period of time. So what do we want? We want the sales over a period of time. Okay, so preferably now we look at we just click on the line chart icon, okay, and then we click on order date, and then we click on sales. See that? Now, I know you're going to find this interesting, what you're seeing here. Let me click on focus mode. See, so we can always go back to the report mode, but we want to focus on this. Now, I want you to watch this. Watch what's happening here. This helps us, this functions here, helps us to drill down. So you notice here that if I click on this, you have a hierarchy structure here on the left, on my right, of the date. So the date by year, by quarter, by month, and by day. So from the top of the house, year, quarter, month, and day. Year, quarter, month, day. So you are able to drill down. So essentially the data that we have is from 2011 to 2014. That's the year it's covering. Okay. So if we choose to drill down, so this actually shows that you expand down one level in the hierarchy. So if I click on this, it goes down into January, July 2021 and down. So it says sales by year and quarter, Q1, Q2, Q3, and all of that. Okay. So you have this. You can also decide to go another level down. So it says sales by year, quarter, and month. Go down again, year, quarter, month, and day. So you have it here. Very powerful. Very powerful. So let's go back to the top of the house. Top of the house. So currently is giving us the sales. So if we go back, okay, to the report view, then you'll be able to appreciate all these drill down buttons that you have here. So if I still want to throw in, say, I want to throw in something else to the secondary axis. So I want to bring in profit. Let me see, where is profit? This is profit right here. Okay, profit seems to be flat. Okay, if I scroll down, it seems to be flat all across the platform. If you don't want, you can remove that and bring in quantity. Okay, it's also qualified, but let's leave it with our sales at the moment. Okay, so you have this, and with each of these visualizations, you can actually adjust and make it look better. So come to format. There's a grid line, the x-axis, clean it up. You can actually have a range for the x-axis. So the minimum, the maximum, but we'll probably want to leave it as we have it at the moment. And I would like it to be, let's start from the year. So that's okay. From 2021 to 2024. Now, one of the other cool things about this is, so if I click on this, okay, and I say copy, and I Control V, paste here, okay. Just as you have in Excel, I could change this visualization to a table. So if I click on table, see, everything is changed to a table. Everything is changed to a table as we speak. Everything is changed to a table. If I don't want the quarter, I just come over here and delete it. I don't want the quarter. Okay. The order date, it shows as a date hierarchy. If I want it as just a pure date, changes, and then you have this. See. Interesting, isn't it? So this is when I have this as a pure date. All that I'm doing is that I'm altering how it is. So if I click on this back, okay, if I click back to this and I click on the order date, it's showing it as a date, not as a hierarchy. So those drill downs that you have here will not be here now. But if I tweak this and I say the order date should be shown as a date hierarchy, then we have these other functions that we have here. Okay, but we don't need it. I delete it. I'm okay with what we have here, just for the sake of this demonstration. Let's see how we can actually format this to make this look better. I prefer my x-axis. I prefer those values to be deep black. Sorry, I want it to be clear, to be deep black, to be bold, preferably. I want my x-axis to be bold. I don't want the title. All right, it reduces clutter. I'm able to visualize more effectively. Title I don't want. Okay, with the x-axis I want to repeat the same thing. I want a pure black. All right, black. I want it to be bold. Same font size, that's nice. Title, no title. I just want to reduce the clutter. Again, I don't have a secondary axis, that's okay. With the lines, I'm okay with the lines. I'm okay with the lines. You could have grid lines. I'm okay with all of those stuff. Zoom slider. Why don't we check out what is a zoom slider? If I say zoom slider, look at it. So it's actually neat to see this. Wow, this is beautiful. So you can actually go on some time travel on your own here. Here. So you could reduce this. See that? That's very neat. That's very, very neat. So you have a zoom slider here. Now you need to come in and just have fun, practicalize this. If you want to have a shade area, yeah, you can. It actually makes it stand out, makes it unique. Okay, that's okay. If you want to match the color, well, I'm not so keen into this, but that's okay. You want the dollar labels? Let's have it on. Yeah, let's have the dollar labels on. Let's have some markers on. It helps to visualize. Look at it's getting more and more beautiful, isn't it? So if I click back on it, I have it, and I move it to format. One of the things you need to do is that you need to make sure that you come, enjoy, immerse yourself in the functions, make some mistakes if you want. All right, switch on, switch back off, switch on and switch off. Okay, so we have this. It's getting interesting. So you can actually adjust the plot area just in case you have something else that you want to do. Look at that. Look at that. Now, next thing that I want us to do, because we want to be able to filter, okay, slice and dice. So if we come and use the filter icon, this is a slicer here, and we say we want to filter by year. So if I click on this year, look at what we have. This is neat. Okay, now click on this general slicer setting. Yeah, single. Yeah, shape is rectangle. We could have it rounded rectangle. Yeah, that's quite neat, isn't it? Layout is in grid style. We could have it in a single row, or we could have it in a column, in a column, in a column. So you can actually reduce this and bring this down. Okay, okay. So reduce it. Okay. So we can say we have four. Let's make it four. Yeah, so we're seeing everything at once. See that? It's actually neat. Now, what does this do? If I click on 2011, it tells me how much sales we had across all the category in the region, the profit, the quantity, and all of that. 2013, 2014, see that? If I want to choose 2 years, I hold down the control, select one, hold down the control key, and select this. So select, shift, then we can now if I want to do that, I have to do a multiple selection. So if I click on this, you have to come over here and decide, okay, with the slicer setting, do you want to have single select? See, single select, or you want to have select all. Okay, so you have to adjust. Currently it's on single select. Okay, so and that's okay. That's okay at the moment. Now, if you want to go back, just click on the same thing back, and everything is back. So right now, so if I love how this is. Let me make this look better. Layout, single column, 4, overflow, call out values. Yep, I want this to be darker. Okay, make this bolder. It's currently 12. That's okay. Can I have that aligned in the middle? All right. What else can I do? No, I don't want the labels. That's okay. I don't want too much clutter. Okay. Let me leave this as it is right now. So what I want to do is that I want to work smart, not necessarily hard. If in the process of working smart, I work hard, that's okay. So I right click, and I copy visual, and I control V, I paste it. So it's as if I replicate it. I just want to, you know, leave this, and then I come back here and I say, all right, I've seen all this. I want to be able to, this is by year. I want to be able to do an analysis by segment. So I remove the order date. Sorry. Yeah, I remove the order date. I bring in the segment. I add it to the fields. Yes. Again, so you have, so if I come now, I say, well, I want to see how did we perform in 2013 in the home office segment. This, this is for 2013 alone. It's interesting, isn't it? This is for 2013 alone. Okay, and you know why? Because it's just giving us a point in time. So there is no line. This is strictly for what? For 2013. Okay, if you want to drill down, you could also decide to take it deeper. Okay, let's go down. Next level. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 in 2013. You want to go down again, drill down by month. All of this in 2013. Powerful. Powerful. And you see how. So if you need to see, have a clearer view, click on the focus mode. Boom. Here you go. So this is how we performed in 2013, month by month. In what? For the home office segment. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful. So it changes the way you visualize data. It's a very, very powerful stuff, and there's a lot more to come. So what we've been able to do right now is to build an interactive dashboard. All right. Let me minimize this. So take, for example, you have this. We've been able to build an interactive dashboard for this amazing mat in which we're able to drill down. So we have our performance in a year, month by month here. We look at across segments. So if I do corporate in the same year, see this, consumer segment in the same year, okay? And then you can view things side by side. If you want to replicate this, you could just right click and say duplicate. And the same thing you have here in page 1 is here duplicated in page 2, which gives you an opportunity to change some things. All right, change something. Take for example, you don't want the segment. Take for example, all right, you want what else? What can we put into this? Let's say by region. So we remove the segment and we now put in region. Okay, North, Central. See, North, Central, here. So if I click on North Central, we have this. We have this. This is huge. Now we could also come in here and have a table that we just, so click on this and then we have state there. Okay, these are like states within the geographical area. So this is central, these are the states in the north, and then with this you could decide to have sales also within that table. Okay, sales here. Okay, so each time you click south, okay, the total changes. Did you see that? It changes. And you can also make that. So remember, we have the same, we have this sheet, we have a duplicate here. Again, to aid our analysis, the opportunities here seems to be endless, boundless. Very, very effective stuff. So, so right now I remove this filter, and then we have everything back. Now, this is where I would put the beginner's guide to Power BI to rest. I want you to watch out for our next video. Please feel free to leave a comment, share the video as well. Don't forget to get the uh, to get the data set for this video right here in this description, in the description of this video. I hope you've been able to learn something. Until I come back again with another video, keep analyzing. Thank you so much for joining Carisoft Academy. Thank you.